What's going on, guys? This is Ed Reviews with another Life is Strange podcast with our special guest, Mike.
Hello, children and also non-children of the internet.
Yes. Hopefully you guys liked the first discussion because we were a lot more positive when that discussion happened. We played the second episode of Life is Strange Before the Storm.
What was it called again? It was...
Oh, God. What was it called?
Angst and Whimsy. Like the video game.
What is it? Oh, God.
I don't even remember.
We really hated this. We don't remember what the episode's called. We're really pissed. I'm going to say it right now before we start. We're really angry with how this episode came out. We both really, really hated it. We're going to try and keep on track, but he's
delegated that job to me.
Yeah, I've delegated that job to him because I have a lot of anger about this product, about what's happened. And
I've already released all that anger on the first game.
Yeah,
so it's more like I'm just not surprised. But I'll explain that later.
Yeah, so I think we're going to get going with, to try and keep it with some semblance of a structure.
So, general plot of this episode.
Yeah, let's go with that. I'll just say at the beginning, spoilers. We're not going to do what we did where we just do initial thoughts and then spoiler thoughts because I really don't think that either of our thoughts work without spoilers.
No. Also, if you're not keen on swearing,
don't listen to this. We're like I said, we're both really, really angry with how it came out, and I'm going to try my best to censor myself. I think my editor might have a censor ready in case, but
we didn't censor the first episode.
We didn't censor the first episode, but I don't know.
We're all consenting adults here.
Most of us are. Just if I ever get to the point where YouTube runs ads, this one just might not be an advertiser-friendly video, although it's not really a video to begin with.
Yeah, true.
So I guess, because how do you want to start with the plot? Because there is
the lack of one.
Yeah,
and this is the second out of the third episode, and it's going somehow slower than the first episode.
Yeah, it's slower, and we in the first discussion, if you didn't listen or just need a refresher, we both had kind of said that we thought that we knew what the plot was, like what they were moving towards as the one central plot. Because I had said in the first discussion, as a bit of a concern that I was voicing, I had said that at least through the first episode of the first Life is Strange, you had your overarching plot. Of there's a giant storm coming, Chloe keeps dying, figure it out, also you have time travel. We've now, been 5 hours of playing Before the Storm, and there is no plot.
I thought they were going for the connection, building Rachel as a character, which she's the one sort of redeeming thing about this entire backstory.
She's at least a little bit developed, she's a little...
But I thought they were going for the connection because that seems to be really important to Chloe in the first thing. But in the second episode, there's just nothing.
Yeah, it seems
like a filler episode of a TV show. It's there, but it's not.
So we open to Chloe, Joyce, Chloe's mother, Rachel, and her parents have been called into Principal Wells' office to discuss the fact that they both ditched the previous day.
And before this, it was obviously the previously on Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Which I understand.
That's all right. It's a couple months.
It's an episodic game. You're going to do that.
But then they decided to use Chloe's thought process when sitting down with Principal Wells as another recap. She recaps everything that happened. Oh, did yesterday really happen? And then Principal Wells proceeds
to say it again.
They recap it 3 times in case, I don't know, you're deaf and an idiot, I suppose.
And the problem was, I even knew we were off to a bad start in that first scene.
It was just so clunky and awkward.
It was clunky, but the other thing was, how long was that scene?
That was like a 15-minute scene.
The opening is 15 minutes.
And that's not even the title card yet.
And we are just sitting like theoretically sitting in the room with them, watching them talk for 15 minutes.
Oh, there's some dialogue options, but guess what happens?
With dialogue options, but that is it. There is no movement. There is
movement, but it's delayed, over dramatic arm movement.
If only we were recording this. One of the things that I thought was kind of funny was that they had arm acting to show emotion, because again, everyone in this game has just dead, lifeless eyes. Just, they're blow-up dolls, we said. Like in the last... Like
imagine those big, what are they, rubber arm flinging dolls at the side of car dealerships.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men.
That's what they're like.
Yes.
And the voice acting is dry, but David does make a comeback. He does.
He tries to.
David's a better character.
He still isn't playing it in the same way that the initial actor from the first game played David. But I'm okay with it because he's making it his own. The Chloe actress is not making it her own. The David actor who's doing it is making it his own. So and we have this 15 minutes where nothing but exposition happens.
Chloe gets either suspended or expelled. We didn't choose a branching dialogue.
Actually, I think I read somewhere that no matter what happens, she gets expelled.
So your choices really don't matter. You're just there for no reason.
Love it!
You can either take the blame for Rachel and she thanks you for it, or you let her take it and she thanks you for it.
Yeah.
There's no consequence anymore, which is what I thought the sense of permanence would help with.
So it was 15 minutes. Granted, there was a back talk thing, but like one of us got ahead. So
the thing in the back talk in this one is that it's not as it's forced in this one. It's not optional anymore. It's forced and stupid. Except for the first episode, which I gave it credit for.
For you Nostalgia Critic fans, I was just sitting there for the whole 15 minutes just going, exposition, exposition, rush it out, ASAP. Because all they're doing is just spewing exposition. Oh, the father cheated. Joyce is mad. David, this, that, the other thing.
And the second episode of a 3-episode series.
It's 3 episodes. This is only 3 episodes.
So this should be the meat of it, right? This should be where everything's happening.
This is exactly what... Before we keep going with the plot, I'll tease my rant as we go along.
Oh, you're going to get ready for the end of this podcast. I'm just going to let them run.
This is the first thing... This is what I worried about when I first saw that initial E3 reveal trailer back in June at the Xbox event. Because I think you and I were over on a PS4 party while I was watching it, and I was like, yay, more Life is Strange. And I think at that point you hadn't played it? No, because it was
I don't think so. I said I didn't care much to play it, and then it became free on PS, and then I played it.
Yeah, so like, but I remember I said to him, and then especially after we finished the first game and we were discussing this being a thing, I had said, I'm really worried because this idea doesn't feel like it's fleshed out. It doesn't feel like that there's anything there because you take away time travel, and there's almost no purpose.
But, like, I even theorized, so it's going to be Chloe's transition, and like, after I played the game. It's going to be Chloe's transition into bitchiness. No, she's still a bitch. Okay, so the only reason we don't care for Chloe as a character.
Yeah, neither of us did in the first game.
So
like, even when I first played the first game, I did not like Chloe. This was before I even knew him.
So if there's no development for Chloe, I said this in the first podcast episode, it's got to be Rachel. It has to be. There's nowhere else for the story to go, but they somehow neglected that.
Yeah.
This game, before, like, we do have to get a move on for what else happened, but this game is fan service. And the ending rants will flesh out that idea more, but so you find out you're getting expelled. You go into the bathroom and throw a hissy fit.
You throw a hissy fit where she just graffitis everything, and I think this was the title card of Square Enix Presents,
and that's when I muted the music Because at that point...
Can we talk about the music before we even keep going? How many needless moments of them trying to simulate... This is where I said that this is unfortunately suffering from a bad case of sequelitis. Mm-hmm. Because in the first game, almost each episode, or was it each episode? Almost every episode ended with a quiet moment with like an establishing shot of the apocalypse at one point or another, and like Jefferson, this, that, and the other thing, with like indie music playing.
And then maybe if you sat an optional thing, if you sat at a tree or a rock,
you can have a quiet moment. Now, granted, and I liked it in the first game because they were brief moments, and it gave the game a sense of identity.
And I like indie rock as much as the next guy.
But this game, I don't know if it's because there isn't physically enough there.
Or they just overuse it.
They're just overusing the trope, because in this episode alone, there's 5?
I think 5 during main cutscenes. Not even ending anything.
Yeah, it's not even ending things. 5 main cutscenes where they just have a quiet moment with indie music, because...
With just establishing shots of each scene.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? It was like establishing shots for a good minute before we got into it. Let me explore. That's what the first episode did. It let me explore.
Yeah, like that Blackwell thing. Say what you will about Dungeons.
It's a vertical slice.
Yeah, say what you will about Dungeons and Dragons memes. You can do stuff.
Yeah.
You get introduced to the character. This game had so much potential.
All right, we really.
Yeah, we gotta get moving.
So
after she goes to clean out her locker, takes her weed, she goes into the bathroom, she graffitis everything with indie music, just because life is strange. And so we go out and we have our first
sandboxy area-ish.
You sprinted straight to David, I think.
Yeah, because I didn't really see anything. It's the parking lot, by the way, outside of Blackwell.
Yeah, you go out in the parking lot. Outside of Blackwell.
Your main objective is to go to the car where Dave and Joyce are.
Yeah. And you can stop to talk to Elliot, which I did, and it's just Elliot.
Was it anything?
He's the new Warren, is what it is.
But a less interesting Warren, I
feel. less Punk Warren.
Punk Warren, gotcha.
Basically, he's Punk Warren. I really don't remember a lot of it.
That's how forgettable this was.
Yeah. And so you go, and you start having... Can we even say it's a genuine scene?
I mean... I think it was supposed to be. Like, it's supposed to be Joyce really, really wants Chloe and David to get along. Yeah. And I get that, because that comes from a close place in my home, too.
Yeah, like
anyone with a single parent and a boyfriend/girlfriend of their parents probably knows the struggle that is. And that would hit home for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I can understand where they were trying to go with this, and this is where David sort of makes his...
Yeah, this is where David starts, coming into, his discussion about his whole, I want you to respect me. I was in the military. So
you can either be like, all right, I'll try, or screw you.
You can either say screw you or I will try to be better.
And we chose opposites on that, right?
Yeah. You said I don't want to try.
Yeah, I'm the bitchy more dialogue options than he.
He's. I'm at least trying to make Chloe a more redeemable person.
I'm giving into the dark side.
Yeah, and then so there's a second choice too, where David asks you if you'll empty your pockets, because he knows you do drugs and you drink.
And that's he wants to start over, but he wants to know you're clean first.
Yeah,
so you can choose to put all of your stuff on the car. Is it the hood?
It's the hood of the car. Yeah,
okay.
It's the hood of the car. He chose not to. I did, and I think I was in the majority on that one. I think it was 70-30 on PlayStation, the split. And one of the most unintentionally funny deliveries I've ever seen in a Life is Strange game.
She pulls out the weed.
And David literally goes, "It's marijuana, all right?"
Just imagine Hank Hill, and you got David.
It's marijuana.
And marijuana accessory.
And I'm sitting there okay, that was bad. But
I think that might have been intentional. There's no way that could have just...
Yeah, there's no way that,
It might have been the voice actor having fun with it.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to be funny, so he just went, "It's marijuana, all right?" And then, so we leave... I think she just says, "I'm not coming home." And then
there's no home with him.
Yeah, there's no home with him. And then he just... then she storms off to go to the junkyard because she's going to meet Rachel there. And
Bottles. What is with Life is Strange in episodes 2 being just some bullshit shit?
Okay, so
sorry for the double swear there, but that just cut this scene calls for the double swear.
So you remember how in episode 2, this is like his least favorite thing in all of the first Life is Strange, or second least because you hate the ending's the most least, but most least. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah,
and the
junkyard's just a cursed place.
The junkyard is now the fun place for Michael, and you remember in the first Life is Strange where you had a 15-minute scene where what you had to do was just find bottles so Chloe could shoot them?
And at least there was two of the bottles required time travel, so it was more of a tutorial, which, we're not talking about how much
we're not going to get into the first
but
thing.
At least
there was some semblance of, again, this is a point I'll hit in my final points, but it had a purpose. And it was like, in case you forgot, here's your time travel mechanics again. And here's some semblance of trying to develop Chloe and Max.
And I understand, well, the whole point of this one is you find the beat-up truck, and that beat-up truck you realize is like the truck she uses in Life is Strange 1, which there's potential there.
It's like, oh, cool, we'll get the truck together.
That you recycled the same crappy fetch quest, but without the time travel.
Yeah, without the time travel, and instead of bottles, it's, what is it? You have to get a
tapestry.
Yeah, a tapestry to cover the ratty seats.
A Christmas bulb to replace the light bulb.
Because that's how cars work.
An optional bobblehead, for some reason.
The bobblehead's optional?
Is it?
Did you find the bobble? I didn't find the bobblehead.
I found the bobblehead, and it's like, you can do. Well, I'll choose the tunes because you're an animate object, and then a welcome mat on the floor.
Yeah, and I mean,
so I can see what they were trying to do with it, and there was.
Why would you? But why would you replicate one of the most fans of the series criticize the bottle scenes? Why would you try and recreate one of the worst things about the original Life is Strange? The bottle sequence, it's Bottles Part 2.
Except without time travel.
Without time travel. And
this is where I was done
lost.
With it. No, Eddie just went on a rant for 10 minutes, and I just kind of sat there like, yeah, I'm done. I pulled up This is the point where I pulled up a walkthrough because I wanted to just be done with this.
What even was I ranting about at that point?
You were ranting about how it's stupid, basically.
It's stupid. Yeah, I said it was stupid.
I was just like, I was telling him where everything was because I found everything. And
I'm like, oh, this is so stupid. Why are we... Bottles. And so,
everything he went through is basically my roller coaster of emotions through the first game, and it was kind of funny for me.
He was, and so.
But at this point, I was kind of just like, yeah. So this is what this is gonna be.
Yeah.
And I just kind of it. And
so.
And then that. There's nothing else to talk about in that scene. That's it. It's all filler.
Yeah, and then she falls asleep.
You smoke a cigarette.
You smoke a cigarette.
Well, I think Frank says he's on his way.
Oh yeah, Frank is texting you like, "Hey, I need you to do something." Okay, I'm in the junkyard. Okay, on my way.
And then Rachel comes in, and
no. The hallucination comes before Rachel comes in.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it is. She because remember she wakes up and says, "Don't you?"
Yeah.
Okay. So she's smoking. She falls asleep.
And remember how in the first game there was these clever little... Oh, not the first game. The first
episode. We had these little... And you and I gave... other than the first
one. It was stupid at first, but it gave it credit.
Yeah, we gave it credit because it was trying to do something interesting with, like, making William her conscience and, like, trying to make observations about what it is that's happening in the game, as if she's internalizing it through someone she admires.
In this game, she wakes up, and if you choose to graffiti the truck, you'll see that graffiti moving.
Because, I didn't need to sleep.
She's basically on an acid trip for a little bit.
Yeah, she's on an I can't figure this out. So, and you see that William's car in the junkyard is on fire.
Mm-hmm. Which is something they already used in the first episode.
Yeah, and so you have to. Now, granted, this is one of the, I think that's the third scene with third out of 3 scenes with movement. because you have to walk to the campfire.
Yeah, and then you see marshmallows.
You see marshmallow. Actually, no, you don't even walk to it. It's a cutscene.
It's a cutscene, and then you do that
sit
whole
down.
thing. You sit down where you just like you can look around.
You can look around, and you can if you look at the car on fire. God, what was the line? I remember how she read it. I don't remember what the line is.
She's like, it's something along the lines of this, but exactly how it was delivered. Is this real? I wonder if the car burned like this. Oh yeah, that was it. It's like exactly like that too.
Like with that page, like literally
with
just
nothing. It's like she just
wonder.
woke up and she realized she had a script to read.
Yeah.
And I sent Eddie a meme actually because at one point Chloe had such a dead face that I took a Snapchat of it. I sent it to him like, when you realize you have a Life is Strange game due the next morning.
Yeah, and so William
He
just
doesn't say anything.
He doesn't say anything, and he's like, "What is it? What the hell is it that he even says?" I don't even remember.
He said no because the apocalypse fire is burning in the background. By the way, that fire is still going. The fire that Rachel called upon the powers of Zeus to enhance. Yeah, that's still going in the main game and the hallucination.
Yeah. By the way, I said this at the beginning. He didn't take me up on this bet, but I said to him like towards the beginning of the game, "Hey, Mike, you want to take a bet about if we're ever going to find out what the fuck it is that made Rachel..."
They even acknowledge that in the next scene, but they don't explain it. But we'll get to that after we're done with the acid trip McGee.
So yeah, acid trip.
He said something along the lines
something about like fire
is beauty. But
fire is beauty, and just pure evil is not.
So something distracts you.
Yeah.
And like, what is fire? And Chloe's like, what does fire distract with? And then William's like, beauty. Holds his hand up and makes the fire go away. And I'm just like, why are you trying to be Yoda though?
Yeah.
You haven't earned this.
And then so he turns his head to reveal that he's now Two-Face.
Yeah, half
from
his
Batman
face
Arkham
is
from the
burnt.
Arkham games.
And then the crow / raven. I really haven't figured out which one it is.
I think it's supposed to be a raven.
Because is that the symbol of death? Anywho, it picks at his face, and me and him lost it.
We're laughing our asses off
because
like,
was it supposed to be powerful? I can't tell. I literally can't.
Like, if somebody who likes Life is Strange can explain this to me, honestly, what is the purpose? Porpoise.
What's the dolphin of that scene?
What is the dolphin of that scene? What is the purpose? Because it really feels like there is no reason for
They
this.
just took that great idea of William being a conscience and just kicked it
They're
right
like,
out the
no,
sewer door.
We don't have to, now granted, you could argue that in the first episode, hitting the truck getting hit with the truck repeatedly is kind of funny.
It's silly, but like, you can get over it. Like,
yeah.
you can see the significance of it.
This is just over the...
They just took it and just like, what if we made this really weird and stupid and unimaginative? I mean, it's imaginative in a sense, except for the Two-Face ripoff, but...
Yeah, I guess.
I gotta give it imagination points, but it's not... It doesn't have any... It's nothing. And
like, it holds on, like, this is scary, and then she, like, passes out in her hallucination.
And then Rachel wakes her up... And the cigarette was burning the entire time. They quip a little bit, and she enters the car. And so begins a little bonding moment, which, I don't know, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
But we were so done by that point that... And this is the point where...
I
just don't care.
Up, and at that point, I don't think I had verbally said to him, I'm really having a hard time finding anything good with this.
And past this point, he's really going to try to dig. Not because he wants to, but because he has to.
In my head, I was saying, like, there has to be something good. I hadn't said it to him at this point.
Nope.
But in my head, I was like, there has to be something worth talking about. Like, something that it did at least somewhat well.
So it's a scene where...
They're like, let's be each other's therapists, basically. Like, to cut to the chase,
There's 4 different dialogue trees. I skipped all through it. I wanted to get the answer just that it wanted. I didn't care enough.
Yeah.
I checked one and then I was like, okay, now you.
And I was trying to go through to be like, okay, what are they trying to develop? There's nothing there. There is nothing. Like, they're kind
nothing
of...
do matters. Not like, if you discover all that, there's no thing that can make you like her or make her like you more. It's just...
Yeah. And so...
It fails as a scene.
What is it?
Well,
So,
it fails as a game, but
we'll
get to
yeah, we'll get to that. And so and what's next? What even is next in the plot? You're headed back to Frank comes.
Yeah, Frank comes in his RV after Rachel leaves
and leaves a bag of her clothes, and you can.
And a woman, and the same woman that in the first
the woman
episode
who's cheating on Rachel's father is banging Frank.
And well, you can coerce them to say that through a talkback. But she's more. You can see her pop up throughout the episode.
Yeah,
not so subtle foreshadowing. You'll see soon. But you walk into Frank's RV. You see little baby Pompidou though. That was fun.
Yeah. So the only thing, the only good things was that I decided to change. He encouraged me to. We both have the deluxe edition because he bought us both the deluxe edition. I didn't buy this, but I paid $5 to upgrade to the deluxe edition. You
contributed $5 for 4 outfits in the bonus episode.
And so he encouraged me to. I was using the Punk Dough shirt because I was like, give me memory of the good game.
The only thing that was keeping me through was the hot dog outfit.
So I changed to the hot dog shirt.
And did it help you?
A little bit. And so you're going through, you find out the important thing in that scene is baby Pompidou. That's the only important thing.
And then he starts driving.
And then you find out that you're off to Blackwell, which you've just been expelled from, to go collect money from, what is it? What the hell is
Mikey's older brother.
Mikey's older brother, token black football player.
I think his name is Drew. I'm pretty sure it's Drew.
I like token black football player, but...
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Anyway, so... You're breaking into Blackwell we did in the 3rd episode of Life is Strange.
I think a big enough campus like that would have more than one security guard, by the way. Oh, by the way, the old security guard's name is Skip. He's a chill dude, and him and Chloe seem to be friends. We forgot that.
Yeah, that's
detail.
kind
going to
of
be important in a second.
I don't know if it's important.
It's not.
So, you remember in what was it 2, where you have to snip it Victoria, make the paint fall on her? Was it 2 or 3?
That was 1.
That was 1?
Yeah, because you had to get into the girls' dormitory.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was 1, right?
Might have been 1. But, so, it's ripping off that scene, but it's also ripping off in the start of the 3rd episode where you and Chloe are breaking into Blackwell, but it's just Chloe. So, again, in my mind, the problem is, I don't like Chloe. I liked Max. Having Max in that scene was interesting. Just Chloe is...
And I suppose that's a preference thing, but even still, even if I liked Chloe, I try to even get in the mindset of Chloe's a cool person. There's nothing driving it. I don't care enough at this point.
Yeah.
Because the only reason she's even doing it is because Frank promised her 10% of the money, right?
Yeah. I thought, if any of the fans watched the trailer for this episode, I thought, okay, our central plot is gonna be drug problems.
Also, yeah, remember the next time on Life is Strange? She was holed up against her door with someone knocking at it. We never got that scene.
Oh my god, we didn't.
No. Remember that? That was the one thing that was like, wow, what's going to happen? I thought about that after we finished talking last night.
Oh my god.
It lied to us. It clickbaited us. And again, we're going to wait till end rant I'm going to wait till end rant to expand on that. He's lost it. He's flailing on the couch. He's done. Yep. I should have waited till the end of this, because now you're really going to get off track, but I got to keep you on it.
Yeah, keep us on track.
Okay, so...
Go.
It's never as simple as just entering a building, is it? Nah.
No.
The door's locked in the middle of the day for some ungodly reason.
Yeah.
During school hours.
Well, no, it's a Saturday.
Is it a Saturday?
It's a Saturday.
But even still, people live there. Why is the door locked?
Yeah, that's true.
Basically, you have to go mess with Samuel. I think Samuel has a different voice actor, but I don't care anymore.
Did he even speak?
Yes, you could talk to him.
I didn't.
I was like, hey, Samuel. Bye, Samuel, because I realized he wasn't important. At this point, I was using the walkthrough, so you had to... You have to break a sprinkler.
But one of the...
And steal Samuel's keys.
Photography dicks is there.
Evan.
Yep.
So you have to scare a bird, which is trial and error.
Yeah, it's trial and error.
That's the one
scaring a bird.
Puzzle.
We have a puzzle! I didn't even realize.
If you scare him in the wrong direction,
you have to go the other way.
You have to scare it toward a totem pole.
But again, no rewind, so it doesn't make sense why the bird is still standing there.
whatever. It's like the first episode
least
where you can
in
scare away the birds and the rats come. Then you can scare away the rats and the birds come. It's an endless cycle.
Just
life is strange.
Proceed.
So you kick the absolute shit out of the sprinkler like it owes you money, and Samuel comes and he's like, "Why?"
and then you steal his keys. You're going.
But no, you don't even unlock the door. You just kind of put the key in, and Boop. Slim or whatever his name is, Skip walks out as soon as you're about to open, and he's like, "You're not supposed to be here." And then you can backtalk.
Then you have to. Well, no, before you backtalk.
Oh, right. You can choose to backtalk, and then she goes into a monologue about, I should backtalk, even though you've done it 3 times in this episode so far.
No. Wait, is the uterus on fire part of the backtalk?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Well, that's the first one, because I was feeding him all the answers because I really didn't care.
He was just feeding me the answers. I didn't want to go through the backtalk. One of the mechanics we praised in the first episode
just threw it out. It's forced this time. It's not
just
optional.
Like, nope, yep. Fuck it.
To continue, you have to do that.
And so, at that point, I think that was the point where I was just like, what are we doing? Because in it, she's convincing him to let him in the building by repeating, "My uterus is on fire." Sometimes
in very bad Spanish.
Yes. And I think that was the point. That was the point where I was literally like, and I've now gotten revenge for him screaming in my ear in the first Life is Strange, because at that point, in various different volumes, I'm just going, what are we doing? What are we doing? Mm-hmm. What are we doing? Like, I felt like, if any soccer fans out there, I felt like Taylor Twellman after the U.S. soccer rant. What are we doing? Why? What is this?
We're playing a game about angsty teens, Eddie.
I guess.
That was sarcasm.
Yeah. And so we go into the dormitory, which I thought was the girls' dormitory, but I guess it's co-ed.
I guess they had separate floors or whatever. Which really wasn't explained. I guess you never really saw the building where Nathan was, so I guess it kind of makes sense now that I think about it.
Well, because it
just wasn't spoon-fed to us in the first
I don't
game.
think it was. Yeah, I'd have to go back and play through it, which I'm not going to do.
I'm not touching that game with 10-foot pole. So you go. I think Drew's, Derek's, whatever the hell his name is.
Token black football player.
Yes. His room is right next to Nathan Prescott's, and you just go in. You find a
money
chest, which I read the answer of what the code was because I'm not looking a minute through this game. And you find the money, you can take it, and then, and a completely predictable quote-unquote twist, you open the door to leave, and it's never that simple, is it?
Nope.
Because Mikey comes in. Black Mikey, who you play D&D with. He's a good enough character. I liked him, though.
Yeah, and he's fine in this scene, but again...
This scene had potential. If they just isolated this scene and put it in a game where I actually gave a shit, it might have worked.
Maybe.
Develop a little more about Derek or whatever. Put a little more focus on them before you give us a scene like this. And what happened, you can search around the room and find out that their dad is... Because Mikey and Derek are brothers. And you can find out that their dad is homeless, lost their job, so they need that money to help their dad. Because apparently there's some... is he a drug lord?
I wasn't looking.
Some creepy
at this
drug
point, I was
dude.
Sort of following your footsteps and just blowing through the stuff I didn't care about. And I really didn't care about this scene at all.
Yeah, he came up to Derek and was like...
And basically, another one of Frank's drug mules is also there to collect...
So he's like, where's my money? And Derek's like, I don't have it. And then you can either choose to stay in the room with Mikey and not do anything or go out and stop it. I just stayed in with Mikey.
And then I went out and gave the money because... And I think the only difference is that I think it's in your scenario, token black football player gets his knees busted.
One of his
knees. And then in my scenario, he just gets beat up and Mikey gets his arm broken.
And even if
that's the only difference.
Well, no, even if you stay in the room with Mikey after you come out and his knee's busted, you can still give him the money. But like he'll appreciate you staying with Mikey. I don't know how he reacts if you give him the money. I kept.
I think if you I don't know.
But also, I forgot to talk about this. Remember that sort of thing when you entered the building, the keys were still in the door, and I thought, oh, she's gonna get hit with that. Nothing.
You know.
Nothing.
Suspension. I know it's a video game, but
they just had. They feel like there was so much stuff that they put in and didn't finish the thought.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like us during these discussions, but whatever.
Yeah, and by the way, like we were gonna keep the plot brief. We're reaching how long the previous podcast was. I hope you're getting some semblance of enjoyment out of this. Stay tuned at least for my rant at the end. I think it's gonna be worth it.
Put a timestamp in the description, I guess.
Yeah, Amanda, put that in if you want. That might be good. Yeah, so then now it's time for Rachel's play because she's in the Tempest and you fought to get her back into the Tempest.
So yeah, while you're at Blackwell, you're deciding...
While you're at Blackwell, and how much of this part should I get mad about?
Well, yeah, it's relevant, so, go for it. So you could... let me set it up.
Set it up before. Set it up, and then I'll try.
I'm only taking the lead on these because you asked me to.
Yeah, I'll try and keep a level head because this is the point where I lost.
So you get a small little corridor where it's like you can find out stuff about the play. Neither of us gave a shit, so I just walked to the dressing room, and you can see Victoria, freshman bitch, drugging Rachel's coffee or tea rather.
It's tea.
And you can either switch the cups and drug Victoria or call her out on it and Rachel won't drink it. We both drug Victoria. Now, go on, Eddie. I've released the Kraken. Go.
As someone who loves The First Life is Strange, it has its faults. The characters are archetypes. But at the very least, Victoria's archetype is that she's a bit of a popular bitch.
With a reason.
But there's a reason, and if you really get down to it, she has a heart of gold. Right? By episode 5.
Brass.
Brass.
It isn't stone, but
silver. Maybe silver.
It's a metal. It ain't a precious metal,
It's
but
not
it's a
precious.
metal.
I'm getting at the
She's
point.
human.
I'm getting at the point that she has redeemable qualities. And shame on Deck 9 for getting this so wrong.
Putting muscle relaxers in someone she sort of doesn't like.
Nathan is the insane druggie.
Yeah, Nathan makes a lot more sense in this one, doesn't he?
Victoria, she's a bitch. She drinks. That's fine. She's calculated.
Fine.
That's fine.
This is a bit of PSA from Ed Review.
But at the very least, it's completely out of character. This is the point where I'm screaming in his ear. Mm-hmm. Because did you not play the first game, Deck 9 developers? Are you so stupid as you don't understand what it is that you played? Because that's incredibly you couldn't have gotten the source material more wrong than making Victoria try and drug Rachel so she can get the lead. Fuck you. You clearly don't understand what you were trying to play in the beginning.
You good?
I think so.
Deep breaths, buddy.
I
deep
think
breaths.
So. That's the first of many.
And so we were talking on the car ride over here, and I agree with him completely. That's completely out of character. But at the same time, unfortunately, it's canon. So I guess it's not. It's kind of hard to explain what I'm trying to be. Here, it's like she's a freshman, but like at the same time, some people can change drastically, some people not. They don't tell us whether or not she's had some change throughout those 3 years, so you've got to assume that she has the same character type as senior year, but we don't know. That's why I was kind of like, sadly, it's canon, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm not trying to disagree or whatever.
Yeah,
it's if any of you can even decipher that bullcrap I'm spouting right now.
I think what he's getting at is someone. A friend of mine who reads a lot of books and is into a lot of nerdy things in the same way I am, once tried to say to me that the writer controls the rules within the universe that he is writing in. granted, this was talking about something relating to Star Wars, but I guess the argument could be made that even though Deck 9 is not the original Life is Strange creators, they, because Don't Nod gave them their blessing,
they have the right to change the character a little bit.
Square
said, just published it. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah, Square just didn't give a shit. Unfortunately, this is exactly what we're going through. He's right, is that they have every right to do this, but at the same time,
you gotta like it.
Shame on you, because you clearly don't understand anything about the first game.
Except the stupid plot.
But
what happened after that?
There is no plot.
Conveniently, actually, it was really funny because both of us obviously chose the drug the bitch. So, but during
get cringe acting.
If any of you have ever been in a musical or play, you know there's a hype chat before the performance, and during that, Victoria, it was kind of funny. It's vindication in its purest form. It's like Victoria's trying to be like, Rachel loves drugs, but she's on the muscle, relaxes herself, and just like dies, and no one gives a shit. And no one cares that she's on the ground unconscious right now.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So we find out that the forest fire that's slowly getting contained by the Arcadia Bay Fire Department.
Apparently, you think it caused some.
Because you didn't read the text messages. As it goes on, you find out through the texting mechanic. You keep getting these fire updates from the Arcadia Bay Fire Department that it's slowly getting contained.
Which I feel like a forest fire of that magnitude to have some sort of other implication, like, an evacuation of some sort, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know much about forest fires.
Suspension of disbelief? We're from the Northeast. We don't have forest fires.
Fair enough. Yeah, but... So, conveniently, I think it's Juliet who plays the servant of the
the Tempest. We don't know. This is going off of the assumption that you know the plot of the Tempest.
Or if you I think if you looked around the play area before you dove into it, you probably
could get at least some semblance of what the plot is.
But Juliet, who plays the
No, it's not Juliet. Juliet plays the servant.
Is it Dana then?
Might have been Dana. No, you're right. It's Juliet and Dana. Yeah, it's the other way around.
Yeah, Dana plays the love interest main. But Juliet's late or something like that, so they wanted Chloe for some reason to sub in. And guess what the costume is?
It's a raven!
Because
subtlety is dead.
Yeah, it's not good. So it's Shakespearean, of course. I think it's Shakespeare. It's certainly inspired. Play. Is it Shakespeare play? If not, it's certainly inspired by Shakespeare.
Yeah,
it's Shakespearean writing through and through.
Yeah, it's a Shakespearean English, and we have. You have to go on and again.
You could choose.
He had the walkthrough.
You have to memorize a couple of lines highlighted in the script. I don't want to read.
So he just got the walkthrough. But so we come out, and you're going through scenes from The Tempest. And then Rachel goes off book.
Which, again, if you isolate that
concept
and you just put it in a game I give a shit about, it would have been a lot more powerful. But instead,
and by the way, we haven't done much physical moving in about half an hour.
Oh come on! You walk on stage, and then it enters another cutscene.
You literally,
For those who played the Metal Gear Solid series, it's about as bad as that, but without gameplay.
There's honestly, I can count on two hands how many times you are physically moving Chloe in the product.
Speaking of hands, the hand objective is back, but I never used it because I didn't care. It's stupid.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a glitch with that too, where she walks in place before she raises her hand.
Anywho, so when Rachel goes off book, I had to explain it to Eddie, and I sort of didn't get it myself, but I kind of half paid attention. It's something about, you gotta go on without me, then, I'm not letting you, but will you come with me? Of course, but excitement isn't happiness. Do you like me for me? Of course I have. I always have, and I always will. Let's leave together.
Yeah, they agree to run away together in Shakespeare and English. And at that point, I'm just like, I don't like Shakespeare to begin with. Unpopular opinion, Shakespeare's an overrated writer.
I mean, during the time, I'm sure it was great.
Yeah, but I mean, it was funny. This is a complete aside. Amanda, if this doesn't work, cut it out. I was watching Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio. The modern adaptation? Yeah. I hate that thing.
I don't think anyone likes modern Shakespeare.
No, a friend of ours' father's tried to tell me it was great.
Oh, okay. I guess it's an opinion
Anyway,
thing.
Completely aside. He's an English teacher, too. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Anyway, sorry about that aside. But, yeah, I don't like Shakespeare to begin with. I don't understand Shakespearean English. And even if it's not Shakespeare, it's still, like, that old-style English. So you kind of are just like, what is going on? And so that scene ends.
And this is my favorite... Well, only one part of this next scene is everyone's favorite part of the entire, probably, game. You walking along the street with Rachel, you can choose to hold hands with her, but everyone...
You can hold hands with her?
I did, yeah.
I didn't get that option.
Because she's like, let's run away together.
Oh, yeah,
she holds out her arm.
Oh,
so
yeah, you have to, like, it's like, be sweet, you walk arm in arm or something.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, you go through a bunch of crap, like, oh, where do you want to go? And Eddie tried to be like, oh, do you get to go somewhere? I'm like, do you really think they'd put enough effort to make 3 different cities? It's L.A., New York, and the open road?
Yeah.
So I chose L.A. because I want to go to L.A.
I said L.A. too. I would like that to. I would like
it's a genuinely sweet moment, but with a lot of filler and stupidity
and indie music again.
Yeah, I had it muted at this point, so it's kind of funny. It made me a little more joyful because things that are supposed to happen.
I might try that in the 3rd episode.
It's just nothing against the soundtrack. It's just it's too much. I can't.
Yeah,
it's
too much indie.
I think it's not copyright stuff too, so it's like not even like.
Probably. I don't know. The first stuff was a lot of like French groups.
I feel like they just take it out of SoundCloud and that's what you got.
A lot of the stuff from the first game is French music, but again, that's because Don't Nod is French people. Oh, by the way, I made this point, Tim, before we keep going. Just an overall comment I had was the fact that, and I said this kind of in the first episode too. So the original Life is Strange is written by Don't Nod. So you can, which is written by people at Don't Nod Entertainment, which is a French publishing company. Mm-hmm. Or development. Yeah. And so you could kind of almost laugh at how bad the dialogue is.
It's no excuse, but like
it's excuse, but it's like, okay, yeah,
it makes sense.
They're French. They don't speak good English. Mm-hmm. None of them are native English speakers. So, you want to know where the good folks at Deck 9 are from?
Yeah, you never told me this. Where are they from?
Colorado.
They were probably too high while writing this game, buddy.
I didn't think of that. That's true. They were probably just high off their asses. This is good dialogue.
They probably wrote... My prediction is that they probably wrote a lot more script, but, 3 episodes, so they had to cut.
Yep.
Cut it.
Yep.
Because you can see where there's things that are just missing, so I think that's what it was. They had to make cuts to the script, probably.
And... Okay,
so basically...
we do that scene.
No, wait, hold on. I'm not done yet.
You're not done yet? Okay.
You can kiss Rachel!
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
That's everyone's favorite part. You could refuse to if you're a cunt.
Honestly, I enjoyed...
That was the one sweet thing. I like that.
I was like, yay! Because we both like Rachel a lot.
That's hitting the fan service button right on the noggin. But
yep.
So after that, you go to Rachel's house because she has to get clothes. Because you do decide to run away together. I don't know what happens if you try to refuse. She probably coerces you into doing it. But
well, I mean, they have to get to the house somewhere.
Yeah.
Some way or another.
So she goes upstairs and she's like, "Don't screw anything up." And you meet her parents. And at first, it's kind of cool. I mean, they're all...
No, it's not.
Oh,
no, it's not.
They showed a little bit of character at the first, like, "Hi, how are you?" And then everything went to shit. But I had a little hope. At this point, Eddie told me he's really reaching for something.
At this point, I told him what I was thinking. I was thinking at that point, I'm like, I'm trying to pay attention. I'm trying to find something I'm enjoying out of this.
Because I told him this was the last scene.
Well, and the thing was, and I said, like, the problem I'm having right now, Mike, to him, I said is, I can't find a single solitary good thing about this. There is, I said, at this point, there is nothing good about this. I'm going to save a little bit. while we go into
And then
bottles part 12.
Oh, this is worse than all of it. Because you know what you have to do?
So-
You have the exciting task of setting the table for dinner.
Not just like press a button, set the table, watch a cutscene.
You have to go to mom.
You have to go to the mother. Ask what step 1 is. It's plate.
Also, every time you do it, she cracks a joke. And they're all right jokes, but you know, it's the archetype of we don't like jokes. We're soulless human beings.
Yeah.
Well, go get the china. Ha, I can't make it all the way there. Crickets chirp in the background.
But literally every single solitary step to setting up for dinner. Go get the plates. Put the plates on the table. Walk back to the mother. Ask what's next. You have to talk to the father about
what drink he wants.
You
were trying to go for branching dialogue options. I was
trying to listen to the branching dialogue.
And by the time he was like, I was still going for like 15 minutes. You were still on branching dialogues, and it was like, Mike, are you done yet? No, I'm still like in the middle of the steps of setting up the table. What? Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I gotta get moving. So you're talking. You have to find out what he wants. Then you have to go back to the mother, find out how to get what he wants.
With quote-unquote witty dialogue. I was promised whimsy.
The trailer made it look like there'd be some semblance of whimsy. And, yeah, every step. Every
and then
single step!
Go to the mom, get the plates. Go to the mom again. Ask the dad. Go to the mom again. Set the glass at the table. Go to the cabinet. Set the glass at the table. Go back to mom. And then I think there's one other step. I think light the candles.
Light candles.
Light candles. And then Rachel comes downstairs and you get dinner. And you can either choose the back talk and try to.
We gotta set it up.
Oh, we gotta set it up.
Set it up. Oh wait. We forgot to mention feminism.
Yeah.
Wait, what even happened in the dialogue? Do you remember what I told you it was?
You chose it, so
I don't even remember.
But
somehow we got to the mother preaching about feminism, and I really don't know how we got there.
Yeah, this is where like the other crutch of the series, well, not the series, mostly this game. It's this is why I say it's fan service. It's not risky to say that most of their fan base is LGBTQ, right?
Yeah.
That's fair to say, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything's bad about that, by the way.
There's nothing against LGBTQ. I'm convinced
they're just forcing
that the sole reason... Now, I'm a fan of Life is Strange. I am convinced the sole reason that the Pricefield ship is as big as it is...
It's because they're two girls that are friends.
Because they're two girls. Because Chloe is an awful human being.
And if you've played I know this is saying a different game. If you played Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, those are two girls. They don't mention a romantic relationship with each other. It's just two strong female protagonists doing their thing. Yeah. Why can't we have that? I'm not saying there can't be any lesbian couples. That's not what I'm saying.
Fair, that's not what it's trying. It's trying to set up that Chloe is romantically attracted to Max.
Sort of.
In the first game?
I don't know.
But it's trying to do that. But you, as a stable human being, should recognize how toxic of a person Chloe is. And realize that there's so much better. I'm sorry, fan base, but Yes, I jokingly said that the Warren Max ship should be called
because
Wax.
they just have so much more. You can't force chemistry. You just can't. There's no such thing as a forced chemistry. But Warren and Max, we're going way off topic.
We are going way off topic. But I want this to be known by the fan base. I've disassociated myself with the fan base because Pricefield is a shitty ship.
It's an abusive relationship.
Chloe
only had
people are insane if you think that she's a good person.
The only reason that Chloe has any interest in Max anymore, because she hates Max for leaving her.
Yeah. This game.
You have time travel powers.
So Pricefield. Yeah, like, did you think about that, fan base?
Like,
did you think about it?
She asked you to prove it 5 times, because she doesn't believe you can do it over and over and over again. which is also one of my biggest problems. That's episode 2 also, right?
Yeah, let's not... We're getting... Yeah.
I know. Let's go back to it. So you sit at the dinner table, right? And like you can either choose to backtalk, and
How did we get to Pricefield, by the way, from that?
You went off, and I didn't stop you because you're an unstoppable train of rage right now.
Okay. That's how it happened.
I just kind of let you go. Basically... it doesn't matter if you backtalk. You get a little more if you backtalk.
Yeah, but so basically
you put the mother on the dad.
We went from like feminism to this to that to that. But so they're trying to do some kind of weird social commentary about classes.
Because he's the DA and he's the
DA and they're like
fair to her. And
they're a preppy conservative family.
And then you know that little movie cliche or sometimes video game cliche where like one of the main characters and so much is going on that they just kind of like go. I think it's an anxiety thing.
Yeah, close their eyes and like ears start to ring.
You know when an explosion goes off or a gunshot, you kind of hear a ringing in your ears and everything goes silent slowly.
It does that.
It does that. Rachel's just staring at the flames, and I thought she was going to call upon the powers of Zeus again. No, she calls upon the powers of the Thing from the Fantastic Four. Gets up, Hulk smashes the table.
Yeah. And again,
and his dad, and they like expose her dad for cheating, and then the quote unquote plot twist, which it kind of is, but I can't decide how I feel about it.
It ends
Rachel,
on this, by the way. This is the last thing that it literally is like. It's literally like this. The woman I was kissing isn't my mistress. Who the fuck says mistress anymore?
I kind of get it. It's a DA. It's a preppy DA. I can sort of. They use big words.
Okay, yeah, but he says it wasn't my mistress. That's your real mother. Cut to black.
Dun dun dun.
And then we have again classic Life is Strange.
With a
glitchy subtitle.
With a glitchy subtitle, and also I had music off, so it was just establishing shots.
Yeah, establishing shots. It did the thing where it's establishing shots with the indie music, but he had the indie music off. I had it on. It was like.
So things that happened in this episode. She got expelled. They kissed Rachel's mother. So, final thoughts.
I'm gonna let him go first because I have a lot. You start.
We're probably gonna parallel ourselves a lot, but like.
Go with your thoughts and then I'll do mine.
I think this should have existed either as one episode or as an animated short, because their pacing. They were going in the right direction, and it took a lot for me to admit that for a Life is Strange game because I don't like the series that much. I can see there's potential here. Those isolated scenes could have been so powerful if they just eliminated the bullshit and made me care a little more, but I didn't because they just removed everything. The thing about the first game, yeah, they had the gimmick. That was its crutch, and my personal opinion is that if you can't. Relying on the crutch is kind of stupid, but it had it. It was gameplay. I can admit that. However flawed, it was gameplay. There was something to it, but now there's nothing. You don't have anything. If you strip away the supernatural part of Life is Strange, you get a walking simulator about a boring, not a boring life, a life with some drama in it. And a video game is a form of storytelling. You insert yourself into these situations, either fantastical or some sort of emotional pull. But if it's just high school bullshit with some adult stuff in it, I don't care. Especially with an unlikable character that's as toxic and stupid as Chloe. The one thing is Rachel, but that's not enough to save this entire frickin' game. It's not a game. It's a walking simulator that Firewalk did so much better. There's just nothing here. What is happening? They clickbaited us at the end of the first episode with somebody knocking at Chloe's door, just pounding at it, really angry. And it's just, where was that? They lied to us. And it's embarrassing to have this as a video game. It's an embarrassment as a video game to the medium. It's an embarrassing to the Life is Strange. They somehow made me hate this franchise, more than I already did. You made it worse. You spat in the face of gamers by saying, you think you have choice, but guess what? No matter what you do, Every scene turns out the exact same way. None of your choices matter in the second episode. None of them. Nothing comes back to bite you in the ass. Nothing comes back to reward you. Nothing. It's the illusion of choice. There is no... You don't have anything. You have some branching dialogue options, which is a waste of talent. And the lack of caring is so apparent. And I'm sorry if no one from Don't Nod is going to look at this, but if they somehow do, you gave it to the wrong developer. You just did. Either they didn't care or they ran out of time. It's one of those two. And they relied so heavily on the fan service that it's stupid. There's nothing here. I don't know. You'll probably expand on most of those points, but it's an embarrassment to video games. And me as a gamer, I want to take away something from it, and I didn't, except for it's wasted money, wasted development time, and it uses its fan base. It uses and abuses them, and they eat it up. And I'm pissed that I should have pirated this game. I really should have. And if I wasn't doing a third discussion, I would have uninstalled the game. They don't deserve any support from me or anyone. And I guess I can understand some appeal of the game, but if you love this episode, if you love this game, I implore you to play other video games and just compare it. Because there are other developers that care about their video games, and this one just doesn't. It doesn't seem like it. The writing's sloppy. The voice acting's just god-awful. The animation isn't charming. It's clunky, clipping through everything. It's not good. It's just a shitty video game, and I never try to say anything's objectively bad. I'm trying to be a game designer. But if you just feed me shit, I can't defend that. I can't as a video game. It's just not. It's not worth my time. It's not worth anyone's time. 0.5 for Rachel. That's about it. 0.5 out of 5. Go on, Ed. Release the Kraken.
I mean, if you don't want to hear me go off, my thoughts are what he said, but a lot more angry.
Anger! Go!
The minute that this finished, my first thought was, that's it? That's what we spent 2.5 hours on? We were there for 2.5 hours.
We're never getting that back.
For one plot twist. One semblance of plot.
And one fan service.
Like, the kiss is a kiss. Great. Say what you will. I said this to Mike. Mm-hmm. Say what you will about the first Life is Strange. It's clunky. It's awkward. The story doesn't make a lot of sense.
That's the charm of it.
Exactly. And it knows it. And it has fun with what it's trying to... I think it has fun with what it's trying to be.
Yeah.
And you squeeze in some legitimately good stuff. Mm-hmm. The Kate scene in episode 2 of the first Life is Strange is one of my favorite moments in a video game. And I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to say that I am a fan of Life is Strange after playing this. Because I've never in my entire life played something that is so pointless. Because like I was saying, I almost got off track there. The first Life is Strange doesn't make a lot of sense. I acknowledge it. At the very least, it has an identity as that cute little semi-indie game that people can have fun with. It has some powerful moments. It has some moderately decent ethical discussions. Granted, it's like basic fundamental ethics.
And your choices matter until the end, but your choices matter.
Yeah,
there's consequences.
And it matters in the end, but it just is one single cyclical thing. And this, he hinted at this. You take away time travel. You take away what I think is a very charming character in Max. And there is nothing. You have nothing to stand on. It's a nothing experience. It isn't even a video game. The movement scenes is repair a truck, set a table, walk on a stage, pretend you're in a play. What are you doing? Like, I ask the people, no one at Deck 9 is going to see this. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Because I hinted this in the rant relating to Victoria and the drugging. We clearly played different games, Deck 9. Because this isn't Life is Strange. This is just, let's exist. Let's just exist. Let's make you sit for 2.5 hours where there is no story. You can't tell me that there's a story because there isn't one. There is no story. The first Life is Strange, there was always, like, regardless of how many subplots, the Jefferson thing, everything that was going on with Chloe, the Warren issues, the Vortex Club. Say what you will, that it gets clumsy, but it kept one overarching plot. There's a giant storm coming to destroy the city in 5 days. Let's figure out what's going on. This has subplots, but there is no main plot. I mean, there isn't even subplots. Each time we've thought there's been a subplot, it's been taken, it's been finished.
It's start and no end.
Yeah, it's like, hey, here's something with Chloe getting involved in drugs. We fixed it. Here's this. We fixed it. And there's no overarching story. You maybe you can argue that there's some semblance of trying to develop Chloe and Rachel, but it's awful. This is an awful experience. This episode 2 of Life is Strange has now overtaken the top spot of the most hated my most hated video game of all time. That's saying a lot. I wanted to like this. I was trying everything in my power.
I had to defend it.
To find something with any semblance of quality, any semblance of effort. And there isn't any. Like, this is indefensible. Like, I don't want to meet someone at Deck 9 and say, like, what were you thinking about this?
If I do, I'm demanding an apology.
Yeah, if I were to meet somebody from Deck 9, I demand an apology. I wouldn't, because I would never accept that this isn't art. There's nothing here. And fuck you for wasting my time, his money, my $5.
And poor hot dog shirt.
And hot dog shirt, Pompidou.
And Rachel.
Wasting my PS4 memory.
There was potential. The first episode went in a direction that was making me say, I might sort of like a Life is Strange game. And they threw everything they had and burned it.
Yep.
And when I have to defend it...
He had to defend... think about this. The first game, I was defending him. I will defend the first game as at the very least, an interesting concept.
Yeah, I even admit that. It's an interesting concept, but in my mind, it just flopped a little bit.
Yeah, but there's still something good. I was really hoping for something reminding me of the Kate scene. Because we're in episode 2. And
or something at least as powerful. It doesn't even have to be a suicide scene.
It doesn't have to be a suicide, but I want something that makes me say, wow, this gets something.
This is 2 out of 3, and if their pacing is so shit now, they're gonna either have to cram everything in the 3rd episode, or there's gonna be nothing. And if it's as shit as the 2nd one, we got nothing to talk about in the 3rd episode.
Yeah, like here's the thing: is if we get to the 3rd episode, when we get to this third episode, I don't know what's gonna happen because
it's gotta really try.
We've gone for an hour and 10 minutes here because we hate this so much, but like. I don't know if there's... And the thing is, we really didn't discuss much here. We kind of went through the plot and then just screamed. Like, there is nothing to discuss here. At least in the first... My initial idea for this series, and I'm hoping someone's getting enjoyment out of this, because my initial idea for the series was, oh, I like this, he doesn't, contrast. We didn't... And there has been no contrast. We both hate this. And... the fan base is going to go after me for this. I know. They'll find a way.
It's your channel, buddy.
They'll find a way. Bring it.
I'd like to see their arguments about this.
And also...
I would really love to see the
He gave his 1 out of 5 simply because Rachel is the closest thing to development. I got to give them some semblance. She's a charming character.
Give credit where credit is due, but god damn, you really gotta reach for it.
You really have to reach to even give them credit for it.
Do you agree with me that, like, at least this prequel should have been not a game, but something else? Some other form of media?
But the thing is...
or at least put something else in it.
He's saying this as if he had higher hopes than I did for this prequel. I wasn't going to play this. Because I knew there was nothing.
How could you be worse than the first game? That was my thought. Like, come on.
And I just said, like...
It's going to be funny, at least, and it wasn't. It wasn't even funny that it was bad. At times, it reached that point of good where it was so bad that it was funny.
Yeah, there's points where it's goofy.
If that's your high point, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
If your lowest low is just, I don't want to play this. And I said that. I'm like, I want to get through this, and that shouldn't be your thought.
I did that too.
Video game.
I couldn't wait for the episodes of of the original Life is Strange.
When you have to use a walkthrough with something with no puzzles just to get through all of the bullshit filler they put in, it's sad. It's sad to see a piece of medium, an art form that I dedicate my life to, and see it be represented in this filthy, abominable way.
Yep.
It's sad. I feel pity for the people at Deck 9. I hope the paycheck was worth it. I hope my money was worth it.
I hate the people at Deck 9. This is the difference between you and I. I'm disgusted. I never want to play. Other than us, we're gonna see this out with at least the 3rd one. We also have that special Max episode because we have the deluxe edition. I don't know. I really don't know, but we're going to at least see this series out. But after that, I never want to see the name Deck 9 again.
It's going to take a lot. It's going to take so much. Yep. I'm really afraid for this 3rd discussion video. Even the 4th with the Max episode, I'm afraid of it. Because we're going to have 15 minutes of conversation about the plot, and that's about it. Because if it's as shit...
To be fair, we thought that there'd be 15 minutes, and we went a half hour.
Yeah, but I knew... We had a lot to say, and I knew that.
Yeah.
But, like, if it's as shit, we've covered every point.
Yeah. All right.
Outro!
Outro. I mean...
Thanks for watching.
First, I want to thank Amanda, who's probably going to edit this with headphones.
Yeah, any earphone users or anything, I'm sorry. Rip. Yeah. Rest in pepperonis.
Yeah, I mean, Amanda, thank you, because this is an hour. Granted, this is a steady hour and 20 minutes, but thank you for editing this.
And thank you, any viewers, for watching.
Yeah, thank you, anybody who listens to this. I know the first episode we only had we did.
It was an hour or something.
Yeah, we did decent. Hope you guys like this. Who knows? Maybe us being so angry will get the views up. Who knows?
Gotta put boobs on the thumbnail and everyone.
Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah, he's burnt out. And to see him, who loved the series so much, just be burnt out, it's shocking. For him This is how I felt about the first game, and to see him do this is shocking.
Yeah. And I want to again thank Mike for being here. Check him out on Twitch.
I'm keeping him sane, people. Don't worry.
I'm about to go bring my PS4 down, and we're gonna play something good before I bring him home. He's on Twitch.
House of Memes.
The link will be in the description, like it was in the last one. Feel free to download this, listen to it however you like,
and have a hella good day.
Thanks for watching.
It's a Cali thing!